Welcome back, everybody. It is good to see you all today. I hope you're all doing well. I just want to thank God for allowing us to be here. Our next chapter is 21 of Exodus. They start talking about servants, right? And as the Jewish people coming from slavery, makes sense. A little crazy that they would also have slaves themselves. But I don't make the rules. So it was a thing before I was alive. Now these are the judgments which you shall set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he shall serve 6 years, and in the 7th he shall go out free and pay nothing. If he comes in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. But if the servant plainly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then the master shall bring him to the judges, he shall also bring him to the door, or to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Is that where pierced ears came from? And it was a show of solidarity. Interesting. I have to ask about that. And if a man sells his daughter to be a female slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not please her master, who has betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has dealt deceitfully with her. And if he has betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her according to the customs of daughters. And if he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, and her marriage rights. And if he does not do these things, 3 for her, then she shall go out free without paying money. The law concerning violence. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death. Sorry, so that was all the rules on the servants. Which is, that seems pretty fair, honestly, if you're going to be a servant, I guess. It's pretty fair. However, so this is the violence. He who strikes another man shall be put to death. However, if he did not lie in wait, but God delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint for you a place where he may flee. But if a man acts with premeditation against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you shall take him from my altar, then he may die. And he who strikes his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. And he who curses his father or mother shall surely be put to death. If men contend with each other, and one strikes the other with a stone or his fist, and he does not die, but is confined to his bed. If he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be acquitted. He shall only pay for the loss of his time, and shall provide for him to be thoroughly healed, to make him whole again, right? If a man beats his male or female servant with a rod, so that he dies under his hand, he shall be punished. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his property. If men fight and hurt a woman with child, so that she gives birth prematurely, yet no harm follows, he shall surely be punished accordingly as the woman's husband imposes on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if any harm follows, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. If a man strikes the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he shall let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his male or female servant, he shall let him go free for the sake of his tooth. Or for the sake of your wrongdoing, right? And finding, if you are going to go past that point, right, there are actual consequences for your actions, right? And that would be the only thing that would be good to clear you of that. Animal control laws. The juicy stuff. If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall surely be stoned. No, my goodness. That's crazy. Okay, so we're stoning ox. And its flesh shall not be eaten. Are you... what? Wasteful. But the owner of the ox shall be acquitted. That's good, though, at the end of the day. But if the ox tended to thrust with its horn in times past, and it had been made known to his owner, and he had not kept it confined, so that it would kill the man or woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner shall be put to death. So the knowledge thereof of a problem occurring is much more important about what you do with it in the moment, It's about what you do going forward, especially, that matters. Okay. If there is imposed on him a sum of money, then he shall pay to redeem his life, whatever is imposed on him. Whether it has gored a son or gored a daughter, according to this judgment it shall be done to him. If the ox gores a male or female servant, he shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and the ox or donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit shall make it good. He shall give the money to their owner, but the dead animal shall be his. He said, you can get it out of that hole. I'm not. If one man's ox hurts another, so that it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money from it, and the dead ox they shall also divide. Or if it was known that the ox tended to thrust in time past, and its owner had not kept it confined, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead animal shall be his own. Responsibility for property. Responsibility for your kids. Your kids are your property. If a man steals an ox or a sheep and slaughters it or sells it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox, or 4 sheep for a sheep. If the thief is found breaking in, and he is struck so that he dies, there shall be no guilt for his bloodshed. If the sun has risen on him, there shall be guilt for his bloodshed. He should make full restitution if he had nothing. Then he should be sold for his theft. If the theft is certainly found alive in his hand, whether it is an ox or a donkey or a sheep, he shall restore double. If a man causes a field or vineyard to be grazed and let loose his animals, and it feeds in another man's field, he shall make restitution from the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. If fire breaks out and catches in thorns, so that stacked grain, standing grain, or the field is consumed, he who kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man delivers to his neighbor money or articles to keep, and it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he shall pay double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall be brought to the judges to see whether he has put his hand into his neighbor's goods. For any kind of trespass, whether it concerns an ox or donkey, a sheep or clothing, or any kind of lost thing, which another claims to be his, the cause of both parties shall come from the judges, and whomever the judges condemn shall pay double to his neighbor. If a man delivers to his neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or an animal to keep, and it dies, is hurt, or driven away, and no one sees it, then an oath to the Lord shall be given between both that he had not put his hand into his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept that, and he shall not make it good. But if in fact it is stolen from him, he shall make it restitution to the owner of it. If it is torn to pieces by a beast, then he shall bring it as evidence, and he shall not make good what was torn. And if a man borrows anything from his neighbor, and it becomes injured or dies, the owner of it not being with it, he shall surely make it good. If its owner was with it, he shall not make it good. If it was hired, it came for its hire. If a man entices a virgin who was not betrothed and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the bride price of virgins. You shall not permit a sorceress to live. You shall not permit a sorceress to live. Whoever lies with an animal shall be surely put to death. He who sacrifices to any god except to the Lord only shall be utterly destroyed. If you shall neither mistreat a stranger nor oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any way, and they cry at all to me, I will surely hear their cry. My wrath will become hot, and I will kill you with the sword. Your wives will be widows, and your children fatherless. Just a little reminder. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor among you, you shall be like a moneylender to him. You shall not charge him interest. If you ever take your neighbor's garments as a pledge, you shall return it to him before the sun goes down. For that is his only covering. It is his garment for his skin. What will he sleep in? And it will be that when he cries to me, I will hear, for I am gracious. You shall not revile God, nor curse a ruler for your people. You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe produce and your juices. The firstborn of your sons shall be given to me. Likewise you shall do with your oxen and your sheep. It shall be with its mother 7 days. On the 8th day you shall give it to me. And you shall be holy men to me. You shall not eat meats torn by beasts in the field. You shall throw it to the dogs. At least the dogs are getting some love, you know? And that's what really matters, is the puppies are getting some love. The Jewish people have done enough complaining. They've made out quite well. And I know things start rough, but if you've ever grown up without money, things just kind of how they are the way that they are, right? For a little bit. And things get better. You build. You give God time to build, right? And Rome wasn't built in a day. A sandcastle wasn't built in a day. Well, a lot of the time it is, but working pretty fast. If you know what you're doing, at least. So some good laws, right? Setting boundaries, setting how people should be interacting. Maybe, because, look, so many people, and there was only so much land, right? And so much space, so much resources. They had to be kind to each other, understand, so it's a good thing, right? They have their laws now. They're more lawed people, which is good. God is also setting his boundaries. So, thank you, God, for what you did in Egypt, right? Wouldn't be reading this without it. God bless. Have a good day.